Alright, we got top 100 fact that might save your life one day.
Mojo. And today we're counting down 100 facts that might save your life one day. If you have a potentially life-saving fact, drop it in the comments and we can all learn together.
Yeah, I got
Unlike
one.
in the
Just stay
movies,
home.
you should not attempt to suck venom from a snake bite or apply a tourniquet.
Okay, I'll do it.
That's all. Whoa.
Oh, there
Hey.
we no sucking.
Oh, hey, yo.
Sure?
Yeah, we sure. Thanks, Al.
Instead, move the
What
victim
the
out of
fuck?
harm's way, have them lie down with the wound below their heart, and transport them to the nearest medical facility. Also, if you get bitten by a wild mammal, you should get the rabies vaccine immediately, as it is one of the most lethal diseases on the planet.
Whoa.
If you break a bone, follow these steps. Call for help,
Oh my
attempts
gosh.
to stop any bleeding, and immobilize the injured area. Your car thermometer is not 100% accurate. Most cars are equipped with a thermistor behind the grille, which is exposed to heat radiating from the roadway. So even if your thermometer doesn't read below freezing, there could still be black ice on the road. Be aware of road conditions and give your thermometer a few degrees buffer, and it could save your life. Blue
What's that for?
lights steal your sleep time, disrupting the brain's secretion of melatonin. So before you go to bed, place that phone in another room. Keeping your phone face down will save battery, which could become important in an emergency. This will keep it from lighting up when it receives notifications. Don't eat snow for hydration. Since it takes so much energy for your
People
body
eat
to
snow for
break down
hydration?
ice, you'll
What the
end up
fuck?
further dehydrated than what you gain, plus lose essential body heat while you're at it. You can
People
start
really
a
eat
fire
snow, bro.
with a
What the
9-volt
fuck?
battery and steel wool. If you rub the battery against the steel wool, it should begin to spark. Place it beneath kindling and you'll have an emergency campfire. Be sure to have water nearby if you need to extinguish it. An overloaded keyring could damage your car's ignition mechanism. All the weight can wear out sensitive internal components, making it so your car won't be able to start.
Lexus.
Wow, that's a lot of keys. Bigger the keychain, more powerful the man.
Laughter is proven to improve
Well,
blood flow, immune response, blood
you are
sugar
if you pay all the
levels,
score
and
for real.
relaxation. So watching some funny internet clips could actually be helping your health. If you ever get stuck in a rip current, don't panic and try to swim directly back to the shore. Instead, swim across the current, parallel to the shore until you're out of the rip. Speaking of which, if you need to catch your breath while exiting a rip, relax and float for around a minute or so. Some rip currents recirculate and might pull you closer to shore rather than just further away. If you think you're having a heart attack, you should chew aspirin, not swallow. This works faster to inhibit platelets, which trigger
If you're having a heart attack, you should chew.
blood clotting. If you come across a mountain lion, don't run away. Calmly back away, maintain
Why even is the
eye
point of running
contact
away? He's just
without
gonna catch
bending
up.
over or crouching. If it starts moving towards you, throw things at it. And if it starts getting aggressive, act as big and intimidating as possible. Never, ever go underneath a pin setter at a bowling alley, which includes sliding into the pins as a joke. The force is so strong on some of these machines that it can cause serious or even fatal injuries.
They're good machines, but just like any running machinery, they're dangerous. So, you got gears, you got pulleys, everything's running.
If you're at a beach on vacation and the water suddenly recedes from the coastline, run for high ground. A tsunami is on its way. Other signs include severe ground shaking and a roaring sound, as if from a train.
That kid was
or
just standing
plane.
there, bro.
If
He was
a
not phased at
tornado
all.
doesn't look like it's moving left or right, it might be moving right towards you. Get to safety. If someone has been stabbed or punctured by a sharp object, leave the object in the body.
You're
It
gonna
will
stop the
potentially
bleeding
prevent blood loss.
from going
Apply
inside.
direct pressure either
If you
side
remove
of
it, the
object.
bleeding was just
You
gonna
should
go.
also sit or lie the person
I mean, that's
down
common
or
sense, though.
elevate their legs if they're in shock. If the object isn't still inside the victim, apply direct pressure to the wound to stop the bleeding. It takes 10 minutes for clots to form. Use gloves, clean cloth, or plastic bags to protect yourself from blood contamination. If a room in the house has a fishy scent, check your electrical outlets and start unplugging appliances. That smell could indicate overheating electrical components. You might just save yourself from an electric fire. The bystander effect is when people are less likely to help a victim when there are other people standing around. So, when crying out for help, pick out an individual in the crowd, make eye contact, and call on that person for help. Most drunk driving deaths occur
Yo, I've seen so many
between
crime
9 and
happening and
3
people just
a.m.
looking,
in the
bro.
United States.
Man, if it was me,
Maybe
they're
avoid
lucky,
the
bro.
roads
They're
during
lucky
these
that I
times
never seen
if
this
you
type
can
of
help it.
situation, bro.
If
Because
you
if I
see a
see someone
bear,
need the
you
help,
should
my boy, I'm
stand
turning
tall,
into fucking
talk
superhero, bro.
calmly, and back away without making eye contact. In the rare case that you're attacked, you may have heard this rhyme. If it's brown, lay down. If it's black, fight back. If it's white...
Okay, buddy. Okay, buddy. See? See? Okay,
Stand
bro.
tall, talk calm. United States. Maybe avoid the roads during these times if you can help it. If you see a bear, you should stand tall, talk calmly, and back away without making eye contact. In the rare case that you're attacked, you may have heard this rhyme. If it's brown, lay
Never heard that
down.
one, but
If it's black, fight back.
what the
If
fuck?
it's white, good night. If a brown bear
Good
attacks,
night.
you should play dead.
What's that supposed to
or
mean? You
you'll
just
make the
dead?
attack worse. As for a black bear, which is smaller, you should fight back. A polar bear may see you as prey, so you should definitely fight back. But the odds are not good. If you're out
Damn.
and your drink tastes unusually salty, do not continue drinking it. GHB has a salty taste, although it's easily masked by other flavors. Your best bet is to never leave your
I've
drink
even seen the iPod going to club and shit
if
like
you
that. You
ever
just know my
wake up
thing,
in
bro.
the
I
middle
I'd
of the
rather
night
stay
to the
home.
smell of
You know what I'm
gas,
saying? I'd just rather
do
stay
not
home.
turn on the light. A spark from a light switch could ignite the gas. If you ever see square waves in the ocean, get out. They can create powerful currents and rips. If
Oh,
one of your
shit.
pupils reflects white in a picture, it could be just a reflection, but it could also be a sign that something is wrong with your eye, such as a cataract or even cancer.
Oh my god.
Normalcy bias is when people underestimate the threat of danger despite warning signs. About 70% of people display this bias in disasters, delaying evacuation. If you're asked to leave the area due to impending danger, just get out of there. You can use condoms as makeshift water storage, as they are incredibly elastic. Just make sure they're lubeless though. Tie the end around a stick so you can
What
easily
the
untie
fuck?
it. You can also wrap it in a sock to prevent it being
Nah,
pierced.
that's
If you try to
that's
walk in the
impressive.
woods,
That's impressive.
with the way that it was,
Nah, that's impressive, bro. Holy
you can
fuck.
forget about it.
I don't even think I
possible.
can load
If
that
you're
shit.
caught in a thunderstorm, do not stand near a tree. It's a natural lightning rod. If the air tingles and your hair stands on end, lightning is about to strike nearby. Crouch, tuck your head, and put your hands over your ears. Don't lie flat, as wet ground conducts electricity. If a power line falls next to you, don't walk or run. Shuffle or bunny hop to safety. Seems silly, but it makes sure that the voltage to each foot is the same, so that electricity doesn't run up one leg and down the other.
Man, who really gonna
Calling
think
an
about this?
emergency
Let's
number
be
like
honest. Like
911,
something
be
is falling on
prepared to
you,
give
you
them
just
an
running,
address
man.
or location first. So even if you're
I mean,
cut off,
obviously you're gonna
they
run
know
sideways
where you
because if
are.
you're just running straight, it's just
Follow
gonna
up
fall
with
on
the
you.
nature
Yeah.
of your emergency. Encounter an emergency while abroad? The number 112 can be used in most European countries, forwarding
to
you to
something.
local emergency numbers. It also works in some African and Asian countries, as well as North America. Hold your nose when you jump into rivers and lakes, especially if the water is stagnant. This protects against infiltration by dangerous amoeba. Also, if you're falling into water from a height, enter feet first with your arms at your sides. This could protect you from major injuries. If you ever feel like someone is following your
But where
car,
is it? I don't
take
see it.
4 right turns and it will make a circle. If they are still behind you, that means they are following you. If that's the case, go somewhere where people are, even a police station if you need to. If you accidentally disturb a beehive or wasp nest, do not run for the water. They'll just wait for you to resurface. Run fast and as far as you can, because eventually they will stop following you. Swatting at them will only make things worse, and if you get stung, pull the stinger out as soon as possible. The more colorful and vivid the animal is, the more likely it's poisonous. If you ever find yourself in a falling elevator, do not try to jump at the last second to avoid impact or bend your knees to absorb the impact.
Wait,
Instead,
what?
into yourself, the more likely it's poisonous. If you ever find yourself in a falling elevator, do not try to jump at the last second to avoid impact or bend your knees to absorb the impact. Instead, lying flat on your back and covering your face is your best bet for survival. If you find yourself lost in the wilderness and can't retrace your steps, walk downhill. You're more likely to hit a trail, road, or buildings. You're also
What
likely
happens
to
if you
find a
jump
water source,
before you
which
touch the
people
ground, though?
often build around.
You might
And
take
if you
the
find a
impact, but I don't
fence,
think you're gonna
follow
die
it.
too, right?
If your plane has
You might
to
get
make
crushed,
an
though.
emergency
I don't know.
water landing, do not inflate your life jacket on the inside of the aircraft. It will make it harder for you to move to the emergency exits, especially if water rushes in. Instead, swim to the exit and then inflate your jacket. Heat travels through liquid faster than gas. So, if you want to stay warm, keep yourself and your clothes dry so that heat transfers from your body more slowly. You can miss something in plain sight due to inattentional blindness.
The
which
phone,
can
the
occur
magic
when
phone,
your
huh?
brain is attending to too many stimuli. One example is when you're walking and on your phone at the same time. This leaves you open to walking into objects or into traffic. If you feel sick and don't want to throw up, hum. Humming suppresses the gag reflex. The limits of the human body tend to follow rules of 3. People can generally go 3 minutes without air, 3 hours without shelter in extreme weather conditions, 3 days without water, and 3 weeks without food. The most common sign of a heart attack is pain or discomfort in your chest, especially a feeling of pressure or squeezing. It can sometimes spread out to other areas and be accompanied by fatigue, a cold sweat, lightheadedness, nausea, or shortness of breath. If this happens, seek urgent medical attention. Women can experience heart attacks differently to men. While chest pain is common in both men and women are more likely to feel sick, experience shortness of breath, or have back, neck, or jaw pain.
The bottom line is there's more variation in heart attack symptoms in women, and women tend to wait to get them investigated.
If
That looks like a
your
nice
stool
car.
has black specks in it, which some describe as looking like coffee grounds, seek medical attention. It might mean you have gastrointestinal bleeding. When walking down
Wait,
Smite,
what?
some describe as
Investigated.
if your stool has black specks in it, which some describe, don't put your hands in your pockets. If you happen to slip and fall, your arms won't be able to grab a railing or break your fall.
You're gonna fall right in your face.
You don't have to pay money on any type of phone to call 911. So don't bother hunting for change if you're using a payphone. Most fire deaths are caused by smoke inhalation, not burns. If you find yourself caught in one, stay low to the ground and get out of there ASAP. Never put your feet on a car dashboard.
Who the fuck do that?
Airbags deploy at
That's so
hundreds
stupid.
of
That's
miles
illegal,
per
bro.
hour and can break your nose when seated normally. But a broken nose is better than broken legs. Don't use bleach and cleaning products that contain ammonia at the same time in the same room. Their vapors will mix in the air and create chloramine, which can damage your respiratory tract.
You told people to mix ammonia and bleach?
Only if they want bathroom fixtures that shine like the sun.
Peggy, that's the recipe for mustard gas.
If your vehicle gets stuck on a railroad, get off the tracks immediately and run away at a 45-degree angle in the direction the train is coming from. This protects you from being in the splash zone of debris if your vehicle gets hit.
Oh, yeah,
Also,
because they're
look
always
for
gonna
a
go
sign with
everywhere.
an emergency number for the railroad or call 911, and they can inform any approaching trains. A wagging tail does not always mean a dog is friendly or happy. Dogs can also wag their tail when fearful or as a warning. Always ask the owner before you pet their dog. Both the words flammable and inflammable mean that the product is capable of being easily ignited and of burning quickly. Non-flammable means not easily ignited. Chemical burns are different from heat and fire burns. You might not feel pain right away, but they can cause irreparable damage to your skin. If you get chemicals on you, be sure to read the labels and use the recommended method, as water can often not be enough.
You can run water over your hand to make it worse, or look at me! Or you can use vinegar to neutralize the burn.
Please let me have it, please.
Purple flags on the beach indicate dangerous sea life in the area. Red flags warn of serious hazards, such as high surf or dangerous currents. A double red flag means the water is
I didn't know
close to
that.
swimming. Use the acronym FAST to identify symptoms of a stroke.
I did
F
not know,
stands for
sir.
face drooping. Does one side of the person's face droop? For example, in a crooked smile. A is for arm weakness. Can they raise both arms? S is for speech difficulties. Are they slurring? T stands for time. If you see any of these signs, it's time to call emergency services. Many species of mushrooms are poisonous to humans and can even be fatal, so do not eat wild mushrooms. Dangerous ones can also look convincingly like edible ones.
Study music production online with Berklee's renowned faculty. Download your free music production handbook now and
After you fall into very cold water, dry yourself off, dress in layers, and warm up gradually. A phenomenon known as afterdrop means that if you warm up rapidly, your core temperature may initially continue to cool. If a stranger tries to force you into their car, shout for help and fight back as hard as
Imagine
you
the
can.
people in the car in
Escape
the
will
back
be more
watching, bro.
difficult once
They're
you
like,
take
what
it to
the
a new
fuck just
location.
happened?
A knife can be lethal, even in inexperienced hands. If someone pulls one on you, don't escalate the situation. Run away if you can. If you can't, hand them what they want. Your wallet isn't worth your life.
That's not a knife. That's a knife.
Telling people where you're going increases your chance of survival if you get lost, injured, or kidnapped. In 2021, unintentional
fuck?
shooting deaths accounted for over 4% of
That
gun
goofy-ass
related deaths
face.
in the US. Many involved children. In the home, firearms should be stored unloaded and in a secure place behind child-proof safety locks. Using water to put out a grease or oil fire will make the fire worse. Instead, turn off the stove to cut off the heat and cover the pot to cut off oxygen.
Oh,
You can use your pants as a life preserver by taking them off, tying the legs together, and filling your pants with air, either by scooping the waist down through the air into the water or by breathing into the waist from below. Scrunch the waist tight to prevent air escaping. About half of the passengers killed in car accidents in 2020 in the US were not wearing seatbelts. Buckle up. Many backpacks have a
Man, do
built-in
better,
whistle
man.
to get attention. Especially in windy weather, don't camp under a tree. Tree limbs sometimes shed or break off and could come down on your tent. If you fall into quicksand, don't panic. You can only really sink up to your waist. Wriggle your legs to loosen them, sit back, and try to float out. It's okay to ask for help if you're feeling depressed. There are plenty of publicly available numbers to call if you need someone to talk to.
What the
If
fuck?
you hit your head and
Oh, I feel
briefly
depressed.
lose
Let me call a number real
seek
quick. Let me talk to
medical
them.
care
Like,
when you wake
man,
up. You likely have a concussion. You could also have
I'd
an
bet just go
epidural
see, I don't
hematoma,
know,
bleeding
you
between
just
your
go see those
skull
dudes
and
that
the
you pay
membrane
to
around your brain. Toilets
therapists.
are more deadly than sharks. Each year in the US, around 40,000 people are injured in toilet seat-related accidents. Make sure not to slip on a wet bathroom floor. Distracted driving is the leading cause of car accidents in the US. So stay off your phone while driving. A gun trigger can be pulled faster than you can react. So don't try to disarm someone if you're being robbed. Things are replaceable. Your life is not. You can estimate the remaining daylight time
good
by
advice.
extending your arm in front of you and holding your hand out with your pinky finger on the horizon line. The width of one finger is roughly equal to the distance the sun will travel in 15 minutes. 4 fingers equals 1 hour. If you're buried in an avalanche and disorientated, spit. Your saliva will follow the gravity, and you can dig in the opposite direction. Smoking causes cancer. We know you know, but it's an important one. The harder you make it for a burglar to enter, the less likely a break-in will occur. So always lock your doors. Also, be careful when someone comes to the door. Just because the doorbell rings doesn't mean you're obligated to open the door.
Hey, Glenda.
Horses cannot see immediately in front of or behind them, and horse kicks are incredibly powerful. So never
Whoa.
approach a horse from behind. Stand on the side of the horse between the head and shoulder. You can perform the Heimlich maneuver on yourself. Form a fist just above the navel. Place your other palm over the fist to push more firmly. Drive your fist in and up in the diaphragm area, the top of your stomach, and repeat until the object stuck in your throat dislodges. If a man takes a pregnancy test and the result is positive, it might be the sign of testicular cancer.
Testicular cancer can hit men at any age, but almost half of the cases.
Testicular cancer, and the result dislodges. If a man takes a pregnancy test and the result is positive, it might be the sign of testicular cancer.
Damn.
Testicular cancer can hit men at any age, but almost half of the cases are found in men between 20 and 34.
The safest
Yeah,
place
I know
to
why.
sit on a plane
Because
in
that's the
case
time
of
they all
plane crash
just
is
fucking
near
just
the
doing
back,
some
getting
bullshit with their
wiggles.
fucking dicks, bro.
The worst seats are on either side of the aisle in the middle of the aircraft, which is almost double the fatality rate. If you're stuck in a stampede, the most important thing is to stay on your feet. Keep your hands around chest height to protect yourself and prevent being crushed. If someone is drowning, remember this rhyme. Reach or throw, don't go. Use a long item to reach out for the victim to grab onto. Otherwise, throw them something that floats. If you approach without a flotation device, a drowning person is likely to grab onto you and pull you under. Even when someone has been pulled ashore after drowning, that person can still die due to leftover water in their lungs. This is called dry drowning. Even if you've been saved from drowning, you still need urgent medical attention. If you need to break a car window, aim for the edges or corners. The center of the window is usually the strongest part.
Push it in the corner and apply pressure. And there we have it.
Embassies and consulates have emergency numbers they answer 24 hours a day. When abroad, it can pay to have this number saved in your phone. If you possess a gun, you're more likely to be shot during an assault. This is especially true in cases where the victim has a chance to resist.
Hey, old man.
But that's dangerous though.
Call an ambulance! Call an ambulance! But not for me.
I like that one.
Use posts on
But
social
not for
media
me.
to identify and plan robberies. When you check in somewhere, it indicates you're not at home.
How easy would it be to find the location of her house?
Well, from a car, yes, you can get the location of the house, but same time, for going to the life thing, sometimes the address is in there.
Although it's rare, alcohol withdrawal can be fatal. If you have a long-standing problem with alcohol and show signs of withdrawal,
Can be me.
tremors,
Cannot be
insomnia,
me.
nausea, or anxiety, get medical assistance. People do not outgrow asthma. Whilst some might become asymptomatic as they get older, the potential for asthma remains. Always carry an inhaler and keep the prescription up to date, even if you haven't had symptoms for years. You do not have to wait 24 hours to report a missing person. There is no time limit, and the sooner you report it, the better. One of the symptoms of time limit and the is
Reward
drowsiness.
for any information
Or someone else
leading
has
to its
stopped
return.
shaking from extreme cold and is feeling sleepy, it's not a good sign. Get inside and warm up. Closed doors can slow the spread of fire and smoke. With this in mind, it's best to sleep with the door of your bedroom shut. Also, be sure to check the batteries in your smoke alarms regularly.
Fire can't go through doors, stupid. It's not a ghost.
While driving, if the accelerator pedal gets stuck or something else causes unintended acceleration in your car, press the brakes firmly and put it in neutral. Extinguishing a fire is a lot easier with a fire extinguisher, so buy one before you need one. The best preventions for heart disease, which is the leading cause of death in the US, are eating a healthy diet, exercising regularly, maintaining a healthy weight, limiting your alcohol intake, not smoking, getting your blood pressure checked regularly, and managing diabetes if you have it.
I thought that was common
Not
sense.
smoking can
Maybe
also
not in
reduce
America,
your
though.
chance of getting cancer, the second leading cause of death in the US. But you should also talk to your doctor about how to do self-checks and how often you should get screened. Your subconscious mind will be able to pick up warning signs that your conscious mind might not. So if a situation doesn't add up and something feels off, trust your gut and instincts. Did you enjoy this video?